It's actually really exciting to get to stand and be part of a number of companies that are here today. And by the way, I'd like to join Parent Chat if I can. I just came back from New Jersey last night, where I have joined the Women's Leadership Initiative, which is Baer's program to help increase the number of women in leadership positions, particularly here in the U.S. And it's fun for me because I feel like I've got a number of things already I can put into my pocket and take back to these meetings to say, these are simple, and they're things that we can begin to do. I'd like to start just by sharing a little bit about Baer Healthcare. You may know us as the aspirin company, and we have been making aspirin for 115 years this year. It is still one of the top 10 products in our portfolio, but we are a global company. We were founded in Germany more than 150 years ago, and the relevance of that, I think, is that there's a culture that we have to overcome that makes it very difficult when we talk about things like women's leadership in our organization. Today, we have core competencies in healthcare, nutrition, and high tech. In the Bay Area, we have a particular focus on global biotech development, and we're fortunate that we have research development and manufacturing here, and we have 1,500 employees who are engaged in those activities. I happen to work in our Berkeley office, where we actually manufacture an advanced treatment for hemophilia. And while I never touch the drug through its 144-day manufacturing cycle, in my particular role, I am very clear that the job I have is touching the lives of patients and their families. And that makes my day and my job worthwhile every day, even when I feel the tug of the things that are pulling me and pulling in conflict my leadership responsibilities, my home, and my personal responsibilities. So one of the reasons I'm excited to have joined the Women's Leadership Initiative with Baer is that is our focus, is how do we help women grow? We don't have enough female representation in our organization at the very top, neither in the global organization, although better here in the U.S., and that's the primary focus of the Women's Leadership Initiative. It founded in 2008, was grassroots group that came out of our pharmaceutical division in New Jersey, and has now become a program that reaches 20% of the top talented men and women in the United States. And next year, we're working to take that program across all three of our core disciplines, not just the healthcare group. So that's one of the opportunities I get to have as part of this steering committee. The focus primarily has been on self-development and accountability, giving people community, helping to create peer mentoring programs, helping to establish the kinds of seminars and thought leadership and programs that inspire and encourage us to do and change the way in which we approach our own leadership style. It has also been about putting mentorship programs in place and giving women access to other women primarily to be able to help them grow. But I think one of the things that we have clearly learned is that it's not just about women helping women. We also have to make sure that our men are deeply engaged so that they know how to step down and help up the women in our organization to understand what their issues are and to be able to be their sponsors and mentors and talk about them when it comes to talent and opportunity. Baer's done studies related to our science education programs. We had a study in 2012 where we identified that we surveyed academic institutions and Fortune 1000 companies and found that 40% of chemists and chemical engineers, female chemists and chemical engineers, at some point in time were discouraged from following a science career. There are two primary reasons for that discouragement. Was that there was a clear bias towards the male scientists, both in the learning environment and in the professional environment, and that there was no role model for them to look up to. These are not new things for us, but these are things that we know we have to work on as an organization. We have to provide those role models, and we have to ensure that we are breaking through that barrier of that stereotype that I think was discussed earlier. How are we reaching out to those women? And then once we get them in here, how do we ensure that they stay? Like most organizations, the top reason for attrition of our senior-most talent in our organization is a lack of workforce flexibility. So we're working on those kinds of programs. And we know that those kinds of programs don't just benefit women, they also benefit men. Today, we are making progress. We are seeing promotions. We are seeing special assignments. We are giving more visibility to women, particularly in the United States. We still have a very long way to go in order to change the shape and makeup of our leadership structure. But we have an exciting journey, and it's kind of interesting to know that we're not alone in how we will approach that.